Hi Warriors, today we're looking at Tekki Part 3. In this video we're going to take a few parts of Tekki and look how we can work on them. Rather than just doing the kata to improve it, we're going to look at small parts of it and improve them. So our first one is going to be Kibidachi. So Kibidachi is the stance we use for the whole of Tekki, so this one's got to be solid. We've got our feet a little bit wider than the shoulder width apart, okay, probably like 2 to 3 times wider. We've got our knees and toes pointing forwards, but these knees are slightly turned out. So we don't want this, okay? We don't want that inside edge work. We want to make sure the pressure is going towards the outside of our feet and that these knees have got a slight rotation going towards the out, so they're nice and strong. You might find you get a bit of a stretch on the two adductor muscles, and that's perfectly fine here. So if we don't be there, draw it out, so there's a bit of tension there. We're also making sure our stomach line's long, so I'm not hunched over here. If I go from the side, you can see that my bottom's not sticking out, it's tucked underneath, hips are underneath the shoulders. Here I've got my knees bent, knees turning out, long stomach line here. So that's quite a good practice. Just make sure you're doing those things, check in the mirror and that you're doing them. So the movement with Kibidachi. So if I'm in my Kibidachi there, remember, we're going to look, we're going to step the leg across, keeping the same height, and then step out. Don't worry about your arms at the moment. We're going to look, step across, and out. We're going to look here, step across into that Kozadachi here, same height, and out. So what we're not doing is this, going up and through. Going up and through, trying to get that same height to keep those knees bent and through. So one thing that's going to help that Kibidachi is if you grab something like so here I've just got a hat or a t-shirt or a pair of socks, we want to drag ourselves across. So I'm going to put this foot on the hat. Now I'm moving this way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Kibidachi, I'm going to try and get this leg to drag me into it. So I'm going to use this adductor muscle to pull me into it. So rather than me push off with this leg, which often make me go up, I'm going to make sure I drag myself across. So I want to dig this foot into the ground, so I want to have a little bit of a tug, but as we do it we don't want to bend that knee, we want to keep that knee out, so we've got the stretch here, so this muscle should really feel like it works. So I've got my foot on my hat there, and I'm going to look, and now I'm going to drag across, and then I can just step across here. I can put it on the other side, get this foot there, I'm going to drag, I'm looking this way, I'm going to drag, you see there, it's keeping that position. I'm keeping this muscle's nice and tight and just pulling in. So here I'm keeping the same height, I'm dragging myself across. So I'm pulling myself into the motion here. This leg's pulling me into it. So if you grab hold of your object that you're dragging, could be a pair of socks that you're pushing, we'll just do 5 on each side. This muscle's ready, I look, drag, come back. From here, I always have my hands up, knee, cross, and through. Trying to keep the same height. San, through, adductor muscle working. Shi, this muscle's pulling us across, and go. And you can see here, you can see there, a lot of the weight is on the outside edge. So my foot's down, but most of the weight, that's why I'm picking my foot up, so you can see I've got that outside edge dragging me in. So now if we do it on the other side, from there, so watch it doesn't do this and pull in, it stays fixed here, I look, drag across, here, which, knee, so pull that across, come back, san, across, shi, across, go, and come across. So that's a really good practice to get that Kibidachi working and get that stepping, and it's a good useful movement even when we're sparring. So I might pull myself across as I go. So what I do is I'd stop the video and I'd do a few more of them to practice that. Otherwise we're going to move on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and look at the leg lift. So we're going to do exactly the same movement. So we're going to look from here, I'm going to step across. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on is that leg lift here, and I look across, step across here, pull myself across, and then bring that leg lift. I look, step, up and look. I look, drag myself across, up and step. I look, drag across, up and step. I look, drag across, up and step. So that's obviously that's a movement that we use right at the beginning of the kata when we come across here. up and through, and we use it at other points within the kata. So we can just do those little bits and take that leg movement that we just did with the hat and use that. So you can always grab the hat back, and from here, so from there, I'm going to look here, step across, drag myself across here, keep my foot on there. Now, this leg that's not on the hat is going to lift up, remember, toes towards my nose, and I'm going to bring myself up and through. So I can swap sides. So I look, pull across here, and then I'm going to look forward as this leg goes up. Yeah, so here, step across, come up, forwards, look, change my feet with this hat, step across here and come up. From there, look, step across and come up, and one more, I'm going to look, pull across and stepping up. I'm trying to make sure this leg is nice and strong when I'm doing it. So another little practice we can add into there is the Koshi My. So Koshi My is where you're pulling your both hands to one hip. Remember, the bottom hand is horizontal, the top hand's vertical, 2 fists. So we can add that into, we can just do simple things like we're looking this way, and then when we look the other way, we can pull it across. Trying to keep this Kibudachi. These muscles should be working whilst you're doing this. So here, I'm going to look that way and pull my hands across, because that's what happens in the kata. Every time I look to one side, my hands drop down. Here, look and pull. Here, so I look and pull them across. I look, pull them across. Look and pull them across. We can either go hands out from here, pull them in, hands out, look forward, look across, hands out, pull them across, hands out, pull them across, hands out, pull them across. So all I'm trying to do with this one is practice the pull and the look, so that I'm not going then looking, or not going looking then pulling. I'm going look and pull. So as soon as my head turns to face the other way, my hands get pulled in, and I'm keeping it, I'm not watching, because what my legs want to do is this. They want to start doing that. So I've got to keep that tension here, pull. So I'm just getting used to whichever side my hands go on to, I look away. Whichever side my hands are on, I look away here. Hands on, look away. So we can either just do that across the body, here, or put the hands out, pull and look away. Hands out, pull and look away. So on this knee, it's this knee that really wants to pull in, wants to do that, but we want to keep that knee fixed out. So that's another key point. So when you're doing these simple exercises, you can really look on that Kibudachi. Rather than trying to think about what you're doing with your arms, you can just look at those real key parts. Because that Koshi My happens several times through the kata. So it's another big point. So we're kind of just looking around a few simple points at the moment. And then we can add that into a little bit more of a work of what we're doing. So we can be looking here, pull across, leg comes up here. We can then pull our arms out as we look, step across, and from there, lift that knee up. From here, I'm going to look the other way, pull my arms across. Now drag myself across. So we're just adding a few techniques or a few details in together now. Pull across, and from there, look here. Look away, step, pull myself across, lift up, and now from there, I'm looking forward, and I look to the other side, so I can put my hand to the other side. I drag myself across, I come up with that knee, so I look forwards, and now from there, I'm going to pull my hands across, so I'm going to look the other way, drag across, my knee's going to come up, so I look forwards, and then pull my hands across as I look the other way. And we're just adding a couple of movements in there. So rather than me just doing the kata, to break that work up, I'm doing a couple of details that all fit into the kata. Another aspect would be really useful to do or practice would be from a Koshi My here. We've got our left hand on top of our right, and thinking, pick the leg up, one out, and making sure it's strong. So we're landing here. So we're there. Practice the land into Kibudachi here, but that quick race out of the hand. So look, here up, and this is the second movement of the kata. So we're starting on move 1 here. So that happens only once in the kata, but this leg is going to lift up, through, and out. So we can get that timing of that arm and leg, rather than me going here and going up, then doing it, or doing them together. There's that slight delay. So here, across, up, hit, that goes out. Yeah, and this one you could do on both sides. Yeah, again, it's always good handy. So we could start this side in a Koshi My, or sorry, Kozudachi. Here, leg comes up, out. Here, I'm gonna put my legs across the other side, up, out. There's not going to be no harm if you can do it on both sides. Step across here. So I've got my left leg, so I'm moving this way, left leg in front, right leg comes up, right arm goes out. So now I'm going to put my right leg in front, my right hand on top of my left. Although that's not what we do in the kata, but you're just doing the mirrored version. Here, up and out. So from here, one, up and out, step across. And you see here, my motion on this side isn't as good as the other side, because we don't obviously do this motion on the left hand side, but it's a good little practice. It just gives you that dexterity in your kata. So this motion would be here, look, up, out. Now take the leg from the outside, put it in front, put the hand on the front, the same one. So we've got the same thing. My left leg's at the back, my left hand's at the back, my right leg's at the front, my right hand's at the front. From here, up, out. Then last one, left leg forward, so left hand's on top, here, up, out. And that's for your second part of your kata. Sorry, the second move of your kata. That hand motion, that back hand block as we go through. So another key point, and those kind of all came together there. So that's kind of like one sort of exercise that you can take into lots of different ways to work on. The next one I'm going to be looking at is the rotation. So rotation of the upper body, because one thing we want to do is when we're doing our kibidachi is we don't want to go here, okay? There, whatever movement we're making here, we don't want to be doing this and dropping that hip. So one motion here is to sit in your kibidachi. From here, we just have our arms up in a guard there. So if we're doing like a guard from here, rotate the upper body. So we're going to try and rotate from the T-spine here and across. So rather than me dropping my hips in and rotating from my hips, I'm going to try and rotate from my upper body here and across, here and across. So it's taking it real simple. So there, you can even do it without your arms, just in kibidachi, and just try and rotate, trying to get this T-spine here to be the rotational point rather than my hips. So I'm trying to move my hips and my upper body slightly differently. So my hips are going to stay fixed, my upper body's going to move. Hips are going to stay fixed, upper body's going to move. Hips are going to stay fixed, upper body's going to move. Hips are going to stay fixed, upper body's going to move. And that's what we're looking for there. And we can move that into just that very simple part of move 10 and 11 and 22 and 23 when we do the leg sweep. But we're going to leave the leg sweep out and just look at the block part. So I'm going to have my kibidachi, I'm going to have my right hand up from here, left hand underneath. So from there I'm going to sorry, let me think, how would we be doing this bit to make this most sensible? So from there, right out, one. Okay, so this one, we just have this hand straight out like we've done a Uraken. So look through the gap here, and we're not going to bother about moving our legs, we're just going to move our upper body. Now I'm going to look over my left here, from there, and pull my body across. Again, keeping these legs fixed in position. Look across my right shoulder, and pull across, look across my left, pull across, and I'm trying to get that rotation of the upper body. So you can see I'm not doing this here, or like moving the hips. I'm trying to keep that look, block, like Sotoruki, look, block, like a the outside of the arm, always blocking, okay? There, I look, pull across, look, pull across, look, pull across, look, pull across. And we're trying to get it so the rib cage is doing the rotation. So for now we do it on the other side. The left arm's up, so I look, pull across, look, pull across. Doesn't matter really which way you start, but I'm going to look, pull across, look, pull across, trying to rotate, look over the shoulder, pull across, look over the shoulder, pull across, trying to keep my hips fixed, look over the shoulder, rotate, look over the shoulder, and rotate. So if you put your right arm up, so we're going to look over our right first, because that's what we do in the kata. So we look over our right from here, and we're going to block to the right. So itch, I'm going to look over my left and block to the left. Knee, look to the right, block to the right. San, look to the left. Shi, go, look, rock, look, sit, look, ash, kur, and jur. And now we're going to have our left arm up. So from there, keeping this position, from there, I'm going to look through my left, block to my left. Now I'm going to look to my right. I'm going to drag across, try and get that T-spine working, keep that long stomach line. So look over your left itch, look over your right knee, left san, shi, trying to use that upper body, look over shoulder, go, look over shoulder, rock, sich, to left, ash, ke, and je. And I can tell you right now, just doing those 10, this Kibudachi, because it's working, because I'm not cheating it and dropping in here or letting those knees drop slightly here, because I'm drawing them out. These adductors are really working, my leg muscles are really working, and my T-spines are really working, because I'm really trying to make sure that when I'm doing it here, I'm rotating from that T-spine. As you can see here, you can hopefully see my rib cage is the rotational point here, just there, rather than my hips. So really trying to think about, so you can take it slow, here, really trying to think about which way I'm moving and how my T-spine's working. So there's another, that's quite a hard technique actually. There's another really good one for that Sokomanuchi, that block across for moves 10 and 11, which will also go with the Namigaeshi. For our fourth part of Tekki, we're looking at the Namigaeshi. I'm going to show you one against the wall, and I'm going to show you one where you don't need a wall. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up in our Kibudachi. So we're looking at the return wave part of the section, the kick, and we're just going to put one hand out, and we're just going to try and sweep that foot up and kick it. So we're trying to make sure we're kicking out to knee height. So rather than us kicking down here and inside the leg here, I'm trying to make sure I'm kicking to knee height here. Knee height, there. Knee height. And through. So just nice and simple. Hit that Kibudachi. So during this video, I've noticed my legs really working. So if you're hitting this Kibudachi, this is a really good physical workout as well. And you're making sure you're hitting those memory parts of the muscles so that your body wants to stay in this position when you're doing Tekki. So get one hand out, ready, itch, and we'll just stick to this hand. Knee, try and make the movement come from that knee, so don't bring the whole body up here, try and keep it so it's coming from that knee. San, shi, go, so I'm trying to keep as much of my body here, rock, sich, and I'm putting in with a little bit of this adductor, sich, ash, so this leg is tightening, it's pulling me this way a little bit. It's pulling me this way. It's gonna get this. I'm not just jumping this leg up, I'm pulling myself into it a little bit. Ke and je. And then the other side, itch, knee, san, shi, get this leg strong, go, rock, sich, ash, ke and je. Through. So let's do that once more. Itch, knee, san, shi, and go. Another side. Rock, sich, ash, ke, and je. Try and keep that knee strong. So just watch your knee doesn't come in when you do that kick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the angle and show you a way to do it against the wall. So we're now going to look at Namigaeshi, which are moves 10 and 11 and 22 and 23. So with the arm movement we just did, we're now going to look at the returning wave kick. So from here, one practice to do is we want to try and get this. So a real simple practice, be in that Kibudachi, and we're trying to make sure that our foot comes up to the outside of our knee. So we can just use a wall, just put our arm on the wall from here, and just to start with, just try and make sure that we draw in here. We draw in and that foot. So we don't want to come inside the leg here, and we don't want to just come to like the shin. We want to come up towards the knee here. And I'm trying to use the wall as little as possible to hold on to. And from here, I'm just trying to practice there. So one thing we want to look for is that we're not going up and down. So when I do this kick, I don't want to come up like we talked about in the video. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my leg against my outer foot against the wall. I'm going to be in my Kibudachi, and this time I'm just going to use my forearm as lightly as I can, and I'm just going to draw one here. So pull that leg up, trying to keep the same height. So I'm trying to pull. Think that you're going from the knee. Think that you're pushing away from the knee, that you're not using your whole body, that it's this leg, this knee here, that's pulling it here. This knee there, and through. There, and through. So we're trying to not come up there. So just put your hand on the wall, and from there, so we just go itch, knee, San, I'm trying to use that wall as little as possible. Shi, go, rock, sich, ash, Ke, and Je. So we want to use the wall just to keep that, rather than coming up, to keep that steadiness. So then as we get better, we will use less of the wall. Try not to push off the wall, just use that as your guide. So for our last part, we're looking at Moroto Zuki, so the double punch. So you see from here, what we're looking to do is have that look, keep that and make sure we're not coming out with the arms here. And in a minute, I'll show you one against the wall so you can see how you should be doing it. But from here, draw those arms across. So we want to make sure those arms come straight out. So we've got a good Kibudachi here, arms, Koshi My on the other side, looking across, arms straight out here and through. So we try not to open them up here, make sure they're coming across the body here, across the body. Show you from the other side here, so across the body. So that's the key part of what you're trying to do. Try not to make them go out horizontally, but they go out sort of straight on, rather than coming swooping round here. They come here and out, and they punch out. Remember, it should be a punch here as you're coming through with the motion. So now what we'll do to finish off the video, I'll show you how to use the wall to help you with that motion. Now the key bit we're trying to practice here is not coming round here, there. So when we're doing it, we're not coming round here, we're coming straight through. So really simply, put yourself facing the wall here. Don't be right next to the wall, be a bit of a step back, but you can see here, I'm looking this way, I can't come round so much, come straight across. So obviously, as you start further away from the wall, but as you're going to get better, bring yourself nice and close to the wall here, and see how close you can get with those arms just coming straight across. So this Moroto now, here, obviously if I come round, I'm going to hit the wall, so that's my little guide, through, here, and through. I can put them on the other side and look, through, and then we can practice the head movement where I Koshi My, then drop my hands down and look, and then Moroto, drop my hands down and look, Moroto, drop my hands down and look, Moroto, drop my hands down and look, and Moroto. So then if we just do a few on each side, so we do block, hands go down, edge, hands go down, look away, knee, hands go down, look away, San, hands go down, look away, Shi, hands look down and go away, go, and hands look down, rockets. So we're just trying to make sure we're not hitting out. So then we're getting this movement straight across the body rather than this movement there where they sort of swing out. So obviously that wall's stopping us. So there's a few practices you can use for Tekki Shodan to help improve the kata. Obviously going through the kata will be useful, but if you can use some of these simple ones, they can be sort of ones that you can do back and forth and go through. But thank you very much, warriors. Thanks for watching.